South Africans with the crowd, they'll throw the kitchen sink at them. And I think if the New Zealanders can absorb in the first 15-20 minutes and then sort of just grow with confidence and get themselves into the game, if they're in there with 10 points in the first half, I think they'll be clear winners.
And that home crowd, Bob, in Cape Town surely gives them an extra couple of men.
Yeah, I hope so, man. It got the goosebumps going. I mean, I used to live just up the road, and when you hear this roar going on from outside, it's a tremendous sound. When you're inside the stadium, it's amazing. They'll, Skulk's from that area, Monty's from that area originally, Brayton is as well. Everybody else wants to be from that area, so I'm hoping it's going to be a big plus for the team.
Okay, well, I know I can understand Zinzan wanting New Zealand, Bob wanting South Africa. Let's get a quick word. Michael Lynagh, the neutral in the middle on this one.
Well, the question is, can New Zealand come up after 4 weeks off? On the other hand, can South Africa keep the intensity and the aggressiveness and the confidence that they've had for the last couple of weeks? For me, it's going to be a very close game. I'm just edging with New Zealand at the moment, given their performance against the Lions when they last started.
OK, let's get over to Cape Town. We'll join our commentators there, Cobus Wiese and Gavin Cowley.
God defend New Zealand, and Nkosi Sikelele, Africa. What will follow that will be, of course, the familiar New Zealand haka. to stir the blood of any rugby supporter. Cobus Visser has a multi-role to play. We've managed to get him up into the commentary box after all his earlier work. We've got the haka coming up. What a wonderful recipe. You've stood up to it before, haven't you?
Gavin, it's a great challenge. It's one of the great, rich traditions of world rugby. It is something spectacular, and I know the All Blacks, it fires them up incredibly, but also I believe that a team should face them, accept the challenge. That's part of the game of rugby.
Well, Kevin Mialamu there, you see him in the front. Is he going to be leading the haka? The South Africans all arm in arm, facing up to the challenge. I'm not just sure how the New Zealanders would have taken that, but did you see the face of Rodney So'oiala? Just look at him. And earlier in the singing of the national anthems, Joe Vernick. So there's a huge amount of passion out there.
Scary stuff, the haka, if you face it. But the All Blacks, it's very dear to their heart, and it should be, but a massive test match. And as earlier spoken to Sean Fitzpatrick, it don't come bigger than this.
You saw in picture Andy Cole, the 44-year-old Australian dentist. Well, he's not a dentist anymore. He referees full-time now. He's in charge of the match. Both teams very comfortable with that. He was on duty down in New Zealand recently, of course. And the All Blacks will be playing, well, we'll say with the wind at their back, because officially that's what it is, from the northwest. We know that it swirls in the stadium. Daniel Carter will be starting this match. Running touch today is Alan Lewis and Donald Courtney. And I would say that South Africa in the first 15 minutes would love to get lots of points on the board, get them off to a really good start. So Carter it is, straight down the middle. Brayton Paulser coming away with it. You'll see some ferocious defensive work in this match as well. Both teams very, very solid in that department. Montgomery, that's a massive kick from him. And I think that's an indication, Chorus, of just how the wind can swirl.
It is really a strong wind this afternoon, especially down in the field. It swirls, and it doesn't look like it's going to die down soon.
Of course, throwing in the line out is vital too. Was that in straight? Carter looking to take it up, found a little bit of latitude. Kelleher, Jerry Collins. Collins will be used as the battering ram by New Zealand. There he is again in picture, but South Africa right up in his face. Major and Carter back in play again. Little flip pass, but there's a chance for John Smith. And Joe Vernick got his outside. South Africa wanting clean possession here. De Villiers, the little chip from him. Up for it, Rikokia and Kelleher. There's going to be a penalty to South Africa.
On your feet, slowing it up.
Advantage played by Andy Cole. In a kickable position. Remember, it's very windy out there, so hardly troubling Jean de Villiers as he put that little kick forward. And a possible chance for South Africa to put points on the board.
It's a difficult situation, this, with the wind as it is, but Montgomery's going to kick it goal. I think he was just having a problem getting his ball onto the little kicking tee before this match, just getting it to stand steady. With the swirling wind, it's so difficult to create the right level of judgment, but believe that the wind, again in theory, is blowing across the goalposts as he looks at it from left to right. So he might want to start it right about that left hand upright. on its way. Has it got the distance? Yes, it has.
Great start by South Africa and Percy Montgomery. He read it well. And it's 3 points on the board.
Well, hasn't he come of age as a goal kicker? Fantastic effort that from Montgomery. Again, South Africa will want to add to that points tally as well. Just build up a little bit of a lead if they can. Again, it's down the middle from Carter. Fine take that by John Smith.
Roll away, 5.
Kickoffs are always important. Montgomery again. This time he hasn't quite got the distance.
Interesting ploy by the All Blacks, keeping in the middle of the field, but well taken by the loose forward Smith. The pass wasn't great to Montgomery, but he took it well, and it's into touch.
5.
Short line out called by
Over.
the All Blacks. John Smith called in. Now Kevin Mealamu again. He's got Chris Jack in the front, and then Ali Williams. There's a lot of interference in that line out. Jack it is eventually. Kelleher thumped into the deck there by Matfield, and he stays down. South Africa have got to just guard against giving away penalties.
It's a huge hit by Matfield on Kelleher, and he's down. Byron Kelleher does not feel well, and it will be a big blow for the All Blacks early in the game if he cannot continue. Huge shoulder charge by Matfield on the scrum half.
I think that shows the indications of how South Africa want to just make sure that they trouble the halfback pairing as quickly and as much as possible.
Without a doubt, Gavin, you know as a fly-half that they play a vital role. Kelleher and Carter is a very important cock in the wheel for the All Blacks.
Well, I suppose some of the questions that people would ask was it a shoulder charge without the use of the arms? Bearing in mind you've got a huge man up against Kelleher, who's he's nuggety, but he's a small fella. Certainly back on his feet. It'll take a lot to get him off. He was saying during the week, I mean, this is just the ultimate for him. Coming back into the All Black side, playing here at Newlands.
It's good to see him back on his field. Looks fit to continue. First scrum of this game. And what a battle it's going to be between those two pack of forwards.
Half. 22. Crowd 10.
South Africa with a marginal weight advantage. Well, I shouldn't perhaps say marginal, it's fair enough. Now, is that a tight head? Well, the scrum's wheeled all over the place. A real messy effort. South Africa have got it.
Leave it, Green, leave it.
It's good work that by New Zealand. South Africa adopting the up and in tackling tactics. This is Collins. He could be really troublesome for the Springboks.
Leave it, Green, roll away.
Miles Muliaina taking it in. Aaron Major at fly half. Mealamu. Now once again, you see South Africa adopting those tactics of just getting right up in the face of the opposition. Your timing's got to be perfect if you're doing that. Just one little slip and they could break the line. Major once again in the fly half position from that attacking effort. Bounce favouring South Africa.
Kept his cool, Brian Abana. That ball didn't bounce favourably for New Zealand. But a good scrum. Look at Aussie Runt. Great scrum by the loose head, troubling the All Blacks.
Oh, it took a lot of hard work from New Zealand to get that ball back. South Africa still not throwing in on the line out. It's Mealamu again.
Don't come in too.
Jerry Collins up front, but stolen beautifully that by Bucky Sporter. Saw him do it against Australia. South Africa are really going to compete today. Leon MacDonald. Once again, the Springboks taking the ball away. Solid work by Jacques Fourie. Pretorius, there's plenty of men here. Matfield, down the line she goes. Smith, confident play now. Joe van Niekerk. Kept alive beautifully. This is Schalk Burger. South Africa really looked up to it in these first couple of minutes. De Villiers back inside Montgomery.
Leave it 10.
It might well have been stolen, this, by the All Blacks. Over the top she goes. There's no one at home. Muliaina with a chase. Again, the bounce favours John Smith.
On your feet. Onside.
Schalk Burgers at standoff, waiting for that ball from the space of the scrum. Durant. Again, it's Matfield and Habana.
Leave it 5. No. No.
Someone's got to get into the scrum half
Onside,
position.
number 2.
January, the smallest man on the field, but he's done well.
Play it.
John Smith. Possession coming the way of South Africa. This is a good little time for them. Again, Schalk Burger getting it over the advantage line. Bounce favouring South Africa. Montgomery for the corner flag. Again, the bounce favours him.
Great play by the fullback. Classical test match rugby. It's hard, it is physical, and it's uncompromising. Great position for the Springboks, 5 yards from the All Black line.
Bucky Sporter again at this line out will be looking for some sort of disruption. We saw it there. Will we see it again? Once again, South Africa have taken it away. Yes, for Nickard. January, will he change direction? He should perhaps do that. Pretorius with a drop. There she goes.
3 more points, Andre Pretorius. Good bowler, good choice.
I think in many ways, Quibus, that's true. It is a good choice. You want to get your points tally up early in this game. If South Africa can build up a really good advantage there, that's going to put a huge amount of pressure on the All Blacks.
Not only that, Gavin, you're right, good bowler by the team. South African side would feel they got something for going all the way there. Not just nothing. 6-0, South Africa lead.
2 great turnovers from Bucky Sporter. Now, where does Carter go? Does he go down the middle again? Richie McCaw started the chase. Now it's Burger. New Zealand coming up in a line. January, Pretorius, comfortable with his left foot. Good to see that, although this is not out. So'oialo, MacDonald. New Zealand keeping the ball in hand. Haven't seen any of those trademark up and unders, particularly for their wingers. Rick O'Gear, beautiful sidestep. This man's got pace. Kelleher, taken away. De Villiers, he's got Baden Paulson. They're not going to catch him. There's no ways. Everything going the way they want. Jean de Villiers.
After 9 minutes, that's a brilliant start by South Africa, and that must have rocked the All Blacks.
Unbelievable start this, but a well-deserved one as well, because they worked hard for it in South Africa. And of course, getting a try is a key issue as well.
The All Blacks were on the attack. Good bowler for them. Kept on recycling the ball. He's a danger man. Look at him. Gear, pace he's got. But then that pass went astray. And Jean de Villiers knew only one way, and that's to the white line for 5 points.
Well, those 5 have now become 7 with a conversion from Montgomery. So South Africa have got the lead that we were talking about, and it came courtesy of this man. All the pace in the world, support from Paulson on the outside. The New Zealanders were caught on the back foot. Chase came from Rodney So'oialo, but of course Jean de Villiers a lot quicker than the number 8. Tono Umaga must be wondering just what has hit them. Test match rugby, it's not easy to come back. 13 points down, and we're going to have a replacement. Looks like Byron Keller is going to go off, so it'll be Piri Wipu who'll come on. But things really not going the way of the men from the Antipodes right now. Carter, once again, it's a deeper kick onto Schalk Burger. looking for a little hole somewhere. Big tackle there from Jerry Collins. Pretorius. That's solid play that from the South African fly-off. He's found a little bit of latitude to play into because his forwards are really doing a sterling job.
Massive hit on Skalberger by 2 All Blacks.
Kevin Mialabu then for the 6th time with a throw-in at the line-out. This time, pretty much all of the men in there. Chris Jack, Weepu. He's a big man, is pretty Weepu. So Daniel Carter, for the first time, it's onto the boot. Up comes Muliaina. And the mark called there by Percy Montgomery.
Again, well played by the fullback under big pressure from the All Blacks. Took it well. He kept his cool. It's not easy with the wind swirling the high ball. Kept his eye on it beautifully and he took it well.
Oh, that's not out though. Weepu. Carter with another chance. This time going quite high into the 22. So Montgomery has another opportunity. He's called the mark. There should have been some level of communication there. He's a bit frustrated there because he didn't need to have marked it. Still, they have the opportunity of trying to get New Zealand back into their half of the field. This time he's got it safely into touch, just about up to the 10-meter line.
Gavin, the loss of Keller must be a blow to the All Blacks. He's a very physical, competent player.
It's a massive blow. Not taking anything away from Piri Weepu, but, you know, Justin Marshall was their man. They've got to try and replace him. It's a big factor. South Africa haven't given away any penalties yet, and that's important. They've got to keep their discipline. So are Ialo.
Leave it 9!
Weepu. Again, good work by the tight forwards.
Waiting, back you go.
Green line spread across the field. Back in field, it's MacDonald.
Number 10, get onside.
Jerry Collins. Oh, that's great defensive work. South Africa there in numbers, and that's important as well. So Ialo.
Leave it, Green, leave it! Leave it! Dandy.
That's going to be the first penalty if nothing happens, yeah. And I'll tell you what, it's like 2-3 South Africans on every single individual All Black.
On your feet to play it. Slowing it down. On your feet to play it.
First penalty New Zealand receives within kicking distance. And certainly Umaga will decide for a possible 3 points. He does just that. They need to get back into this game. After 13 and a half minutes, they trail by 13. Defence holding up of South Africa. But there, the culprit, South Africa.
Now, CJ van der Linde just sticking his hands in the ruck. Now, Daniel Carter, from virtually this position that he's in at the moment, kicked quite a few in the pre-match build-up. When I say kicked quite a few, had quite a few attempts, and he wasn't that accurate with him. He's got such a great kicking technique as Daniel Carter. Well, there's nothing wrong with that kick. Straight and true. So New Zealand on the board, and I'm sure that's a huge amount of relief for them. So first kickoff then for Andre Pretorius in this match. Bearing in mind that he's going to be kicking into the wind, so he wants to get at the 10 meters, deciding to go quite deep. This is Muliaina. In fact, not, it's Piri Weepu. That's a good reply that from the scrum half. On that far side of the field, if you get the ball up quite high, the Northwester can take it some distance.
Step over, Black.
It's the first throw-in for John Smith, isn't it, in the match?
It's an important one as well. Remember, the wind also plays a big role in this, in the line-outs.
Well, as a result, South Africa have gone to the front with Bakkies Botha.
Lost forward.
Well, there's a little...
Lost forward.
Ball was lost forward, says Andrew Cole.
It's a pity because Bakkies Botha took it well, drove it. Unfortunately, the tackle just spilled it forward.
Waiting, no.
Interesting tussle on the near side between Carl Heyman and Os Durant. Saw the power of Durant in that earlier scrum where there was a turnover. Carter, cross kick this for Rico Gear. Rana Banner's got the pace to get up onto him. South African defence has been absolutely outstanding so far. This is Matfield now to Carter. You feel like a scalded rabbit there, Carter. Drayton Paulser, clever play by the right winger.
Intelligent play by the winger. He saw that the All Black winger Muliaina was out of position. And the right type of kick also kept it low, and he made sure it was out.
Step over.
Chris Jack in the line out. This is Ali Williams. I tell you what, there's been some big hits. Big hits from both sides, we've got to say. Look at January, ease off after Carter. Well, that little bit of pressure can work. You see, it wasn't a great kick. Now Montgomery deciding to go low for the touchline. McDonald. There's nobody at the back now. John de Villiers has read it well. That's a good return, that from the Springbok inside centre.
Good cover defence by Jean de Villiers. He really had no choice. 4 or 5 All Blacks were about to tackle him. A good kick by the centre.
Who's half-back? Who's
Well,
half-back?
New Zealand have dominated territory. When you look at the scoreboard, it's giving you a different story, isn't it? They haven't managed to convert their opportunities.
Half-back. 4. Step out.
Will it go to Jack again? Or Ali Williams? Williams joining the line out. Jack it is in the middle. Again, South Africa taken away. That's the 3rd time they've done that, this time courtesy of Matfield. Pretorius. Well, there's a knock-on, I think. So, referee waiting for advantage. It'll be a New Zealand put-in.
First one black. First one green, black ball.
I think Andre Pretorius is just a little bit hasty to try and pass that ball.
Again, good competing by the box. Well played by Matfield. Putting pressure on the All Black line out.
Crouch and hold.
Will the All Blacks try and use the blind side? Wipu's got Jerry Collins this side, but they've got a free kick.
Yep.
Take by Richie McCaw. Rodney So'oialo. Going to be some bruised bodies tonight, that's for certain.
Push forward. Push forward. Push forward.
Well, Andrew Cole says that it was lost forward by South Africa. Didn't really see that one.
Keep the angle straight. Don't crab across. Yeah, okay. Crouch and
Krab loopt daar deur die scrum. That's the crab walking.
Oh, big disruption at the scrummage point again. South Africa looking very solid in that department. Now Muliaina. Moved from the fullback position, of course. This is Mialamu. He's a solid runner. McDonald, beautiful play. Here's Rico Gear. But little Ricky January just flew into him.
He's certainly one of the quickest wingers in the world. But great cover defence by the scrum half, January.
Well, that's what South Africa want. But it's just got to be controlled, that's all. No, don't give away penalties has got to be the call.
Good hands by McDonald. He put away Gear. But look at it. Copybook tackle by Ricky January.
Short line out for John Smith. No competition from the All Blacks. Burger. He's got Jerry Collins shadowing him. Montgomery. Down onto Rico Gear. bringing in Leon MacDonald. Using the width of the field, the All Blacks, they've done well. Here comes Aaron Major. He's got Carter on his outside. New Zealand starting to get the machinery a little bit better oiled. They're getting more possession now as well. A little bit more continuity. Collins, couple of extra men over the top. She goes. Here comes Rico Gear. And that's an easy run-in for the right winger.
The try was always on the outside for the All Blacks. Men over. A great floating pass by Jerry Collins. Put away Rico Gear. And pace he has got plenty of.
Well, South Africa got flat-footed as they looked to tackle inwards, and it just opened up all the space on the outside.
Look at that pass. Two great passes really made that try. Created the overlap on the outside, and Gear finishes well. Old Lord Rugby gave him the ball, always beats the man. Good hands by the All Blacks. Very well worked try.
They found so many extra men out there, didn't they? I think they had almost a triple overlap, but they recycled quickly, and it was a good passage of play that for New Zealand. Somebody was saying to me before the game that his score today will be 12-3. Well, he's a long way off already, isn't he?
That try will help Graham Henry breathe a bit easier.
So Carter's already had one successful potted goal, and he's going to get another.
He's read it well, Carter, and 3 points of difference. South Africa lead by 13-10. It was really a brilliant pass by the loose forward.
Rico Gear, the try scorer, former New Zealand sevens player, really good sevens player too. So Pretorius, will it be deep again? Muliaina. South Africa haven't spent a huge amount of time in the New Zealand 22 up to now. New Zealand happy to run it out as well. Umanga, Gear again using the width of the field. Oh, this is good running by the right winger. South Africa slipping a couple of tackles. McCall onto Sowialo. Collins. Well, I think that ball might have been knocked forward by New Zealand. Yep.
Showing confidence there, New Zealand. Building their confidence, running from within their own 22. But Rico Gear again showing he's a difficult customer.
Engage.
Well, there's been an area of expectancy on opposition ball at the first phases. And certainly South Africa have looked solid in that department. De Villiers. He's done the right thing as Jean de Villiers, just taking it up, setting up the next phase. Montgomery. The ball's just drifted in field a little bit. Bounce really has favoured South Africa to date. MacDonald. Not much time for him to make a decision. You can see most of the players looking to try and kick down to that far side.
Out of 10! Out of 10!
Pretorius' left foot kick is not a great one.
They're retreating.
Now Aaron Major, chip and chase. January doing the same thing. Carl Heyman. Leon MacDonald finding a bit of space. Great tackle that from Jacques Ferry.
Leave it. Outside. Waiting.
Collins. Just about getting through there. Just South Africa flying up, but it's opened up a bit of space for Carter. And here comes Umanga. Clever play that by Umanga. It might have been stolen initially by South Africa, but it's back with the All Blacks. Major. South Africa, I think, have been will be caught offside as well.
Good patches of play by the All Blacks, putting huge pressure on the defence of South Africa.
Keep going back.
But offside play by the men in green and gold.
With CJ van der Linde standing out wide, it didn't retreat. The referee had asked for that. And Carter's now got a chance, if they do kick it goal, to draw the team's level. Just that drop from Andre Pretorius separating the teams at the moment.
The All Blacks testing the defence of the Springboks, but then already advantage being played by Andy Cole. Takes them all the way back, and Carter is going to put the ball down and try and level the scores.
Yeah, disappointing for the tight head. That's obviously something that South Africa have spoken about in the dressing room, and before that,
Back, guys.
just cut down the error base,
Step back.
keep the penalty count down. When you're playing against a competent outfit, that's the one thing that can separate you and the team after the final whistle.
After a jittery start, first 10-12 minutes, they're back with a vengeance, the All Blacks.
Two out of two then for Dan Carter. Will it be 3 out of 3? Yep, it certainly looks like it. So, the early start of this first half definitely belonged to the Springboks. Right now, New Zealand have clawed their way back in. Shows the character of the team from New Zealand. South Africa comfortable with kicking in one direction, not down the middle of the field. Andre Pretorius with 2 deep kicks. Once again, it's a deep one down onto Wipu. Bringing in Muliaina. New Zealand have looked very comfortable running the ball, spreading it wide, and now South Africa penalised once again. Of course, a lot of penalties come from pressure as well. Peter Durant, the transgressor on that occasion.
Much more likely to get a penalty against you while you defend because of the pressure, as Gavin has said. Wipu putting away Muliaina, and they also run just hands in the ruck penalty.
The line-out was a little bit messy. New Zealand looking to clean it up. It's good play by Muliaina, just covering across from the left wing.
Number 11. Number 11.
Of course, he's very familiar with the
Onside.
fullback position. Wipu. He's got away as the scrum half. And it's over the advantage line, but the knock-on came from Ali Williams.
One of the hard men in World Rugby, Collins, puts in some big hits.
Oh, this is a good field position, this, for South Africa.
Wind up.
Pretorius on the left, Montgomery on the right.
Crouch and hold. Engage. On.
And of course, the
shoulder.
scrum has stood very solidly on the few occasions that the teams have packed down. Pretorius, I didn't quite know why they didn't bring Montgomery onto the left-hand side. He had to stop and turn himself
Holding.
inside.
Holding,
That's a
10.
fantastic kick that.
We're onside.
Just hasn't got the bounce as Leon MacDonald. This is January. Montgomery.
Number 10.
Well, Montgomery not happy there with January. He says a little bit lackadaisical about that. Put extra pressure on me.
Who's half
Just
back?
over 10 minutes to go in this
Who's
first half.
halfback?
Vital period of this game.
4.
The scores are level.
Hold it. Number up. 5 in. Stay out.
So 5 apiece in the line out. Joe Fanica called to come and stick his head in. This time it's Richie McCaw. So they've changed their tactics of the All Blacks after losing those 3 line-outs. Targeting a different man. Kevin Mialamu. One gets the feeling that the All Blacks are starting to claw their way over that advantage line a little bit better and easier than they did in the early stages of the game. Carter. Obstructive running there, and that again comes about because of some good defence from the Springboks.
instructions.
At the breakdown, the point of breakdown, the competition has been fierce and very, very physical.
Fierce is not the word, Gurvis. I can tell you. Can we find a better one? Ferocious, maybe.
There's the obstruction. Well picked up by Andy Cole.
Stay out. Half back.
Just 9 minutes left then of this first half.
It's all right.
You can see there New Zealand losing those 3 lineouts. Only the 3rd time that John Smith's thrown in.
Leave it black.
Some good clean-up work from John Smith.
Not help, player.
It's better by South Africa now over the advantage line. It's front football for John Smith. Just a little bit too much of a lateral movement there from the Springboks. Montgomery.
Away one. Leave it black.
Pretorius, another drop attempt. Has he got it straight? No, just didn't make it. Well, I'll tell you what, there's people that are unhappy about that. But you know, you take your opportunities in test matches when they're there.
He planned it when he got that ball, but not the greatest of kicks.
Scoring tries at international level with 2 quality teams is never an easy task. So Pretorius deciding, let's go for the opportunity when it's there. Knock on from New Zealand. Good play by Fourie. Well, Joe from Nika. Oh, that's got to be a penalty to South Africa.
Also got 8, number 8 black.
Just number 9 green.
Number 8 too. Come here.
Now we can see how Glenn just deals with it.
There's a little terrier. Ricky January.
Penalty was given, all right, and everyone went on. You came in from a fair distance to get involved there, so just be careful. And you be careful. You all right? Just play the ball, all right? Let's give up the ball. Give up the ball when it's a penalty. Give it up.
At least Andy Cole wants to know whether January's all right.
He says, I'm quite G'd up for this game, I can tell you.
Well played by Joe Fanica. He carried the ball very well. Little Ricky January wants the ball, and why not? It was been awarded. And then it was a little terrier. Just not standing back 1 meter for the All Blacks. Fact remains, chance for Percy Montgomery and South Africa to take the lead again.
Tough kick from the touchline. Carter's done it. Can Montgomery do it? Oh dear. Oh, it's a penalty, not a conversion. So he has an opportunity to set it up again. Of course, if it was a conversion, he would have had to have taken a quick drop because the defending team can advance. Well, he's got to get a play up there to come and help him. He's got to do that.
Better kick it now. Kick it now.
This is a nightmare. Well, that would have said a lot for his character if he'd got that over, but really, that was an unprofessional start. South Africa needed to get someone to come and help him. He'd had that problem in the pre-match build-up as well.
I agree with you because he was rushed the 3rd time by Andy Cole, said kick it now, kick it immediately.
Again, Rico Gear has found oodles of room, and now it's Umanga that's done the same thing. Didn't quite get the kick in the right place, did the New Zealand captain.
It's a close affair, 13-all, 6 minutes to go to half-time.
You can see the first phase success rate there from New Zealand. South Africa really in the shadows. Haven't seen too many driving balls from lineouts today.
Number 2.
Both teams have been happy to move the ball to the big men. That ball touched one of the New Zealand hands. Not that it's going to matter right now as Rico Gear goes back. Again, it's a good attacking position this for South Africa, and I fancy that with 4 minutes left, I'd like to get a couple more points on the board.
The Boks can score a try before half-time. It'll make a huge difference psychologically.
I know there's been a lot of talk about changes at half-time, Quivers, but the way things are going, this first half has flown past. I'd like to see Auster Hunt and Ricky January stay on the field in the second half for at least a while. Things have worked so well. De Villiers, taken beautifully by Jock Fourie, under all sorts of pressure. John Smith. Generally, the handling of the Springboks has been exemplary today. John Smith. Pretorius. Somewhat isolated now is Joe van Niekerk. January, now Skalkberger. Durant. Oh, there's going to be a penalty here for Springboks. And this will be a lot more kickable for Percy Montgomery.
Right back. You didn't go right
Better
back.
play by South Africa, forcing the All Blacks in the offside position. And another chance for Percy Montgomery to take the lead for South Africa. This time round, Captain John Smith is holding the ball up.
Well, you saw that last kick swung past the right-hand upright, so this one just left of centre. Monty, just left of centre. That's spot on.
Slap bang right through the middle. And South Africa back in the lead. One try apiece. The difference is only the penalty.
Thank you.
So, perhaps the last kickoff of this half for Daniel Carter. Again in tandem with Skalkberger, the catcher.
Leave it black. Wait in.
One thing South Africa don't want to do is concede any more points in this half. Pretorius. That's a good kick that from Andre Pretorius. Right up to the halfway line.
Dry smile from Andre Pretorius, this time with the right boot. Kept it quite low, but he got the distance and he got it out.
Oh, Victor Matfield nearly got his hand in front of that, his opposite man. Carter. Run around from Major. Good work there by Brayton Paulser ultimately. Carter. Victor Matfield, a great tackle. There's some fantastic work by the tight forwards.
Leave it green, leave it.
Carter, once again, trying to direct the traffic. All sorts of pressure. That's good play. Now it's Tony Woodcock out on the right wing. Again, South Africa in numbers on the ball carrier. So Jake White, just about due to go into the dressing room, doesn't want to miss the last piece of action. Just look, there's Victor Matfield once again looking to make a tackle, and Bucky's Botha just finishing it off. Purvis, you played in the tight forwards as a lock forward. I can tell you what, when you guys do your work, it makes it a lot easier for us at the back.
So all start and ends in the forwards. It's the way it is in the game of rugby.
Go again. Both hookers on the mark. Crouch and hold. Engage.
South African scrum has really looked solid.
Shoulder on.
Pretorius switched to de Villiers, just about slipped through. It was well read by Carter. But it's been turned over. Danger time, this. I'll tell you what, as the All Blacks catch a ball, they got a man in their face. They just can't get across the advantage line there. Tony Woodcock. January, just a little ankle tap. Best way to bring a big man down. Richie McCaw in at scrum half. Carter going the width. Major. I'll tell you what, there's so many candidates here for intercept tries. The way the Springboks are defending, wouldn't be surprised if they do catch one. All Blacks really know they've been in the game in this first half. Lamu, Bucky's Porter again, and Matfield. So it's been taken away. January. John Smith deciding to come back in field.
Leave it, Black. Leave it now, Black.
January. Paul Samad just finish off this half. Just boot it out. That's the decision. We've heard the hooter. Let's call it half-time then. And let's go and regroup in the changing room. So, what a great first half it's been. And one fancies for both teams, really.
This Tri-Nations Test match is living up to all the hype. The Springboks got off to a flying start, but the tournament favourites, they're right back in it.
Well, both Ricky January and Osterrand are still on the field, which we feel is a good call. So South Africa looking for, first of all, some territory domination in this second half. Richie McCaw standing out wide. Difficult man to bring down. That's good work that by Joe van Niekerk. All Blacks must have felt really pressured with Springboks in their face in that first half. Young McDonald's, man who played his rugby in Japan, back in tow again for the All Blacks. South Africa's Japanese, Jaco van der Westhuizen, is on the bench.
Springboks have done well in the line-outs in the first half. They stole 3 balls from the All Blacks. Can they continue the pressure?
So, things really quite tense and tight at the line-out. Where does John Smith go? To the back. Beautiful take that by John Smith, but South Africa just letting it go loose there. Now comes Jacques Fourie. Well, that's particularly good play that by Richie McCaw, but it's illegal, says the referee.
Played it on the ground. Number 4. Get up, number 4. Get up. Get up, number 4. 5 minutes after the bloody ring. Let's go. Thank you very much. See you later, buddy. No, you be careful. I don't. Number twice for number 7. Excuse me. Gave you the benefit of the doubt initially, and then you stood on the man when you got up. All right, be careful. Just be very careful. You had the penalty.
Well, the penalty's been reversed, and that's most unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not great play by South Africa. Ill discipline. The Springboks had the penalty, and it was turned around. He's the future captain of New Zealand, they say. Down under, Richie McCaw.
5, half back. Don't come in, number 2, don't come in.
So, Ali Williams and Chris Jack in the middle. But it goes to Richie McCaw in his competition. Good to see from South Africa. Carter still keeping the ball in hand. Those trademark up and unders, we haven't seen many of them in this match. Carter, extra man, they've found some space again. Here comes Rico Gear, back in field, great running by him. Well, that ball's gone forward. He didn't have enough close-in support, but the New Zealand have found oodles of space out on the right-hand side.
He really is a great player, Gear. He was superb in the Super 12, and he continues his form. Look at that great pass, the step inside by Carter, and he puts away Gear. He runs so well balanced and he's got pace. Fortunately for South Africa, he couldn't get that pass controlled away. but nearly trouble for the Springboks.
Yeah, well, with the defensive manner in which South Africa come up, sometimes it does leave a little bit of space. I think everybody is so keen to get close in and in your face that there are a couple of holes that have been left out wide, particularly on the right-hand side.
Leave it eight, roll away.
Joe Fanica setting up the next phase of play. This is where South Africa don't want to make mistakes close to their goal line. Montgomery's kick. McDonald. Well, eventually shepherded into touch. I tell you what, Ricky January, that man's heartbeat must be something else. He really has climbed in, isn't he?
He really is right in their face, and he's extremely competitive. Still South Africa, 6 puttings, 6 times they won their own ball.
Half's in.
Bradfield, competition from the All Blacks, but here comes Os du Randt. That's better play, good cleaning up of the, as the ball moves into the next phase. Seen far better rucking from the Springboks in this match than we have for a long time. But there's a little knock on.
Seven dancing all the time.
John Smith unhappy, speaking to Andy Cole.
Richie McCaw,
Driving on the captain of South Africa. McCaw on the ground, keeps on playing the ball. And I agree with John Smith. Andy Cole should pick that up.
Perhaps one of the important things is that he's made Andy Cole aware of it by talking very loudly to him about McCaw. He said on 2 occasions, the man's playing the ball while on the deck. And down at the moment is Os du Randt, as he took the ball up. Just took a knock on his left leg. He's had a heavy week as Os du Randt.
58% of territory for New Zealand, but South Africa leads on the scoreboard. It is an absolutely epical test match, typical South Africa, New Zealand. Very physical.
Crouch and hold.
So a fair bit of kicking there we see from Andre Pretorius.
Behind the ball, 9.
Weepu has got Umaga running a good line. He's taken it beautifully. Back in field she comes. This is Daniel Carter. He's got support, but he couldn't get it away.
Onside.
Jerry Collins looked to try and go on his own, but he's been marked virtually out of the game as Jerry Collins. Hasn't found any latitude. McCaw.
Knock back, play on.
Muliaina. This is a testing time, this, for the Springboks. Kick cross, a crossfield kick there. There's some tall men standing out there. Brian Abana's done his best, but it's come back the way of the Springboks.
Onside, Black, 5.
Well, this time it wasn't Richie McCaw, but I fancy Andrew Cole's going to be putting his hand in his pocket just now if it continues, the transgressions at the point of breakdown.
Also no love lost out there, a lot of pushing and shoving. But breathing time for South Africa. Great kick by the fullback.
It's always a big test of character. You're going to spend a bit of time in your own half of the field defending. You can get away there without giving away points, and I'm sure that the Springboks will feel good about that. This little period of play where they managed to put things right.
Well passed there by Gear, but then recovered by John Smith.
Joe van Niekerk has really been part of the action today. Montgomery looks for some space. They've got to kick it deep into the corners. This time it's just going to roll over the goal line, so Leon MacDonald's got all the time in the world. It is tricky with a win, and Montgomery's kick didn't go where he wanted it to go. Daniel Carter, he's facing quite a stiff wind, so decides we're not going to kick it deep. It's not a great kick of his. Come back to the Springboks. Beautifully taken away. It was quite lackadaisical that by the All Blacks. This is Jacques Fourie staying on his feet.
Leave it, Black, leave it!
Getting a bit edgy out
Before
there.
you go to ground, not after.
Down the right side.
Back you go.
A lot of talking
Not
amongst the
now.
players and the referee. But the fact remains a penalty, slap bang in front of the post, and South Africa can increase their lead. Well held up there, Richie McCaw with Jacques, but look at him coming into the offside position. Clearly, there's no reason he would complain, and a bit of stud cleaning there by John Smith, but if you're in the offside position, you should take it.
Should be a mere tap over for Montgomery. And South Africa, first points of the second half. And I must say that I think it was excellent captaincy by John Smith just now, just alerting the referee to the problems that he has on the field. I think Andy Cole, who's now being talked to by Tana Umaga, has get a closer look on what was going on the ground. Found that problem now. South Africa are making a change. Gutho Steenkamp is coming on. Mosterand might be the last time that he plays a test match at Newlands. Let's hope it isn't. And it's a fantastic roar that he gets as he comes off. Steenkamp, very much an informed player as well, did well against Australia. Matfield, he knows how important the kickoffs are because he's got to get that platform sorted out and your confidence built. And maybe take the ball upfield the way the Springboks have done.
Good drive by South Africa, the back and forwards, get momentum, good body position.
Collapsing. Ball was formed. Two players in, collapsing.
And again, looks like Richie McCaw and Chris Jack, the culprits, collapsing that maul.
Yeah, maybe the All Blacks just feeling a little bit rattled at those points of breakdown. You've seen players going in at full tilt.
Good drive there, Burger's involved. Look at McCaw trying to stop them. And they're not releasing the ball or allowing the box to play it.
Wisely, South Africa have used the front of the line out a lot in this match.
Leave it, stand up.
There's been security of possession up front with the wind as it is. The pack-up forwards have just moved forward relentlessly.
Leave the halfback, leave him alone. Stand up.
Burger, back in field again.
Roll away. Let it go. Waiting, no, leave the
Can South
halfback.
Africa find some width? Will Pretorius look to kick? De Villiers. Oh, it's the width of the field. That's good play, Montgomery. Forces first real chance. Back for it, Major. And now Rico Gier. South Africa just all over the All Blacks in defensive terms.
Waiting.
Carter. It's a very good kick that by Carter. Up to the halfway line. De Villiers. He's got no support at the moment. Takes on Jack. Sadly, just shoveled into touch there was Jean de Villiers, but he actually deserved much better support from the Springboks.
Support of a slow to get to Jean de Villiers. He did well. Well done, Ricky January. Put pressure there on the All Blacks.
Tell you what, I've just been watching Ricky January for a while. He is so fired up, it's unbelievable.
Stay out.
Chris Jack in the middle. Piri Wipu. Jerry Collins, head down. Battering ram. One feels there's just the Springboks are succeeding in rattling the All Blacks a little bit.
They certainly are. That man, highly. It's not common to see Carter knock the ball. And that's pressure in the face of New Zealand. Straight forward, and he knocks it.
Again, you can see the work of the tight forwards there. Bucky's Botha up in defence.
That knock could prove to be critical.
Slow it down, wait for the call.
I can tell you what, Quivers, a converted try right now will do oodles for South Africa's confidence. Crowd all behind them. Well, it might not be a converted try, but they'll take the 3 points, I'm sure.
Unbinding and walking around. Unbinding and walking around. Back you go, not now. Far side of the screen.
Richie McCaw not happy with the decision of Andy Cole. Fact remains a very, very possible 3 points waiting for the Springboks.
I saw that Tony Woodcock at loose head didn't stay bound, and then the scrum worked its way around and then collapsed. So Montgomery, with his attempt to get his 4th penalty goal of the match. Vital kick for him. Just the 2 penalties from Montgomery in the second half. No reply from the All Blacks.
9 points cushion for South Africa, 13 minutes into the second half.
It's going to be big decision time for the coaches. One fancies as well for Graham Henry. What changes is he going to make? And when is he going to make them? January. Pretorius in the middle of the field. Not the best position to kick from with the wind as it is, but he's kicked an absolute beauty.
Good call from the fly after January to give him the ball, and he struck it well.
Number 3, stepping over. Number 3, step over.
You can see a lot more kicking there from South Africa's outside half.
Stay out.
There's been some solid kicks too. Kevin Mialamu with the throw-in. He's had a busy day with the line-outs. Chris Jack has done well for New Zealand when he's been the target. You just see the passes for New Zealand, not as crisp as they were in the first half. A little bit over the top, a little bit over the head. And one fancies that New Zealand are really feeling a little bit rattled, but they're a quality side. They know how to come back.
Leave it.
Carter. Taken by Montgomery. Charged down. Now Paulser. He's hardly seen the ball as Brayton Paulser. Clever kick from him. And rolling down. Well, that'll be one of the best kicks from hand that Brayton Paulser has ever kicked.
He picked it up, and brilliant thinking by the winger. Saw there was nobody back. What a well-judged kick it was. Good play by the winger.
Well, if you ever wanted competition at a line-out, you need it now. New Zealand going to the back. Huge tackle from Bucky's Botha on Richie McCaw. That's clever play by Weepu. He's opened up space. Here comes Muliaina and Tony Woodcock. Mialamu, Richie McCaw. Still some pressure. Oh, there's going to be a penalty here against Jacques Fourie for being in an offside position. You just can't understand it. But the relentless pressure from the Springboks has really been a telling blow for them today.
A try would have buried New Zealand, in my opinion. It would have been very hard for them to come back. But Andy Cole ruled Jacques Fourie was offside, and the All Blacks can breathe again. Pass from Muliamu. But no try, says Andy Cole.
Yeah, a little over-ambitious there. South Africa don't want to give away any penalties. Certainly within kicking range. That's a very good decision that from Andrew Cole, because Ali Williams picked that ball up and then just moved straight into the maul situation.
Small mistakes creeping in for the All Blacks. They're starting to feel the pressure.
January, de Villiers standing flat. Good support coming from Skalkberger. He's worked tirelessly off the ball. Andre Pretorius. Oh, not his best touch kick, but up to the 10-metre line. South Africa absorbing all the pressure that's coming from New Zealand.
Still having the advantage of territorial-wise, New Zealand. Pass to Andre Pretorius. He puts it into touch.
Well, you can see that possession and territory belong to New Zealand, although it's possession only marginally so. I have to say, Quibus, in the second half, you've just about had 20 minutes of it, and New Zealand haven't really looked like scoring.
Good hit on Richie McCaw by Bakkies Botha,
who's back in tow after his injury. No room to move for Aaron Major, but only backwards.
Leave it green, you're off your feet.
Turnover by the Springboks. Vital turnover in the middle of the field. January. I don't know if he should have kicked that himself, but it's turned out to be a useful one.
Not a bad kick by January, but I would have thought maybe he would have kept that ball in hand. Turnover ball is precious.
5. Stay out.
So South Africa with that little cushion there of 3 turnovers more than New Zealand. 3 of those came in the lineouts. Fantastic lineout efforts there from Bakkies Botha and Matfield. January, Matfield, de Villiers. Back inside goes Paulser. Good work by Jacques Fourie. And well, South Africa are going to have to throw in at the lineouts here. And there, of course, are many attacking options from that particular first phase category.
The crowd here at Newlands also getting behind the Springboks now.
Straight line.
Look at this ball. Turnover by Skalkberger. Great play by the flanker. McDonald can't control.
Throw-in absolutely vital. Matfield in the middle. Will he be the target?
Come on, let's go.
Oh, he was supposed to be the target. Didn't matter though. South Africa still have it. January. Nuggety as ever. South Africa have retreated a bit, but they've just got to show patience.
Leave it now, leave it!
Paulser, Pretorius, another drop attempt. Oh, he's not going to make it. From the 10-metre line. And once again, people unhappy about that, but really what South Africa are trying to do is just put another little nail into the coffin.
Didn't really struck it well, Andre Pretorius.
Well, here comes one of the changes. Ricky January off and Fourie du Preez onto the field. We know his ability as a tactical kicker and his defensive capabilities. But Ricky January's really got a big ovation coming off. Deep kick in from Carter. Montgomery, this time using the right foot. And it's worked well for South Africa. Here comes de Villiers. Oh, it's got to be a penalty, surely. Man tackled without the ball. Andy Cole says no. He's going to have a chat. Is he to his touch judge? No. He's made his call. Maybe there was a knock on a little bit earlier.
Ball was out.
Little grubber kick forward for Percy. Not aggressive kick, but then the knock on
Engage.
by Sualo.
Shoulder. Ball's out.
De Priya. Pretorius, full pace, the Springbok backs. Montgomery's just got to hold on to the ball. One of the things New Zealand do well is to take the ball away from you in the air. Oh, that's just been done. There's no one at home at the back. Paulser. And this time the bounce favouring New Zealand.
Great defence by the All Blacks, and look at Muliano, stole that ball right out of the arms of Percy Montgomery.
Back. No numbers.
Matfield. Oh, South Africa have lost their first line out. Collins. McCall. This is where they look dangerous, when they find width on the right-hand side of the field. Good play by Chris Jack. Kevin Mialamu. Oh, suddenly finding a little bit of latitude now, the All Blacks. South Africa quite desperate in defence. They've got to make sure they keep their lines, though. Over the top to Carter. And he's been ditched into the deck, ball and all, but New Zealand, great recovery from them. Jack, held up by Farida Priya and Guthrie Steenkamp.
Roll off it, the ball's there.
Carter, this time employing the little kick. Well, it's not a great kick. It'll roll into touch and goal, so South Africa have some options here.
Carter making a couple of mistakes. It's unusual of his play.
He hasn't kicked much today at all, Quirvis, and when he has it out of hand, it hasn't quite been what it should be. But of course, the wind is the factor, and he hasn't managed to control it.
That kick was supposed to go closer to where Rico Gear is going to go. He's got the pace.
Engage.
But the kick too strong.
Another great scrum by the Springboks. Pretorius. Oh, it's perfect. Excellent, good all-round play by the whole team there. Solid scrum, great service from the scrum half, and then Pretorius back into New Zealand territory. I fancy that Nigel Owens must be enjoying this game. He's the TMA, he's had nothing to do all day.
Step over.
Still, the second half is scoreless as far as New Zealand are concerned. Just the two penalties from Montgomery on our scorecards. Stolen by South Africa, the fourth time. Did it 5 times against Australia. Now de Villiers. That's clever play by de Villiers. Wasn't held in the tackle.
Leave it black.
Burger. Everybody calling for it out wide. Matfield. Great play by Steenkamp. Just ran such a good line. He's opened up space here for John Smith. Burger.
Leave it black, leave it!
Still they come. This time John Smith, great angle that he ran as well. The pressure's coming now. Can New Zealand hold out? Pretorius, another drop attempt, this time with a left boot. Perhaps ill-advised. Carter's got all the room in the world to kick downfield to. Montgomery's got a chase. Pretorius is belting downfield. Oh, Montgomery's done well. Eventually realizes he's got a kick. Mialamu, he won't kick. McDonald. Tana Umanga. Clever play by McDonald. Stayed in tow. Rico Gear, he's been the most dangerous back for the All Blacks. Brayton Paulser. A little bit lackadaisical there was Paulser, and that kick's gone straight into touch. I tell you what, it's all action here at Newlands, back and forth, and just 14 minutes left.
McDonald getting the ball away to Gear, but it's all to play for, 15 minutes to go.
Don't come in.
It's going to be about possession the last 15 minutes.
That's a crucial statistic. South Africa, can they make it 5? It's been a tough day for New Zealand. Haven't dominated the lineouts like they might have expected to do. This time Ali Williams had no attentions from the Springboks. So'oialo, great angle that he ran. Now Jerry Collins. And, well, New Zealand have got exactly the bounce they wanted there.
It's 50-all possession. New Zealand on the attack, and they know this is vital for them. Defensive line-out looked a bit forward to me.
Who's half that?
Short line-out for South Africa. Matfield will be the jumper. Great play by Smith, going at full tilt as well. Trying to provide a platform for Andre Pretorius. That he's done. Pretorius, and it's being dropped forward by Mills Muliaina.
Vital knock-on again for New Zealand. Muliaina knows this. Well played by John Smith, carrying the ball well. Long kick by Andre Pretorius, and a knock-on by New Zealand.
Couple of changes now that Graham Henry has made. Carl Homan is coming off at the moment. I see Joe Rokotoko is on. And in the hooker position, Darren Whitcomb also is brought on. So is Greg Somerville in the tight head position. So all the changes being made now. And I fancy that there's a desperate need for New Zealand to get some points. They need some fresh legs. Perhaps better still, they need some sort of catalyst that can provide them with some points. There's Carl Heyman and Kevin Mialamu, two of the men replaced. And Leon MacDonald's off as well.
Time on. Crouch and hold. Engage.
So a little change of, obviously, Mills Muliaina has gone to fullback. Montgomery. It's a better kick from Montgomery. Wow, not quite the angle. And he doesn't want that to run into touch and goal. So Rokotoko, we've got to keep an eagle eye on that man. Was that a drop kick from Richie McCaw? Andy Cole's happy with it. Bounce favours South Africa. Joe Fanica.
Leave it black.
De Villiers decides to go with a hoist. Well, it's not a great one. Well, it's not a bad one either. Oh, Darren Whitcomb under all sorts of pressure.
Leave it, Green, leave it. Waiting, waiting, waiting.
Aaron Major in the fly half position there. Montgomery, back for it is Jean de Villiers. Now Montgomery needs to get his kick right. Decides to come back in field to So'oialo. He's made a bit of a mess of that, hasn't he?
Leave it, Green, leave it.
There's been so much open play with the ball moving back and forth. Carter, so many players have kept the ball in hand as well. Brayton Paulser. Oh, it's a super kick that from Paulser. Got it safely into touch, right up to the halfway line. And one fancies that so much gas has been extracted from these All Blacks at the moment. 10 minutes left. It's almost a desperate situation for them. They've got to score twice.
Stand up.
We spoke about it beforehand, Gavin. The 3-week, 4 weeks break they had, was it good to them?
So Darren Whitcomb then with the throw in the line out. Kevin Mialamu's had to do that job all day. Umanga, half gap. Again, South Africa's defence holding.
Leave it, Green, roll away.
Carter, little run around from Muliaina. Some big tackles against South Africa. Now here comes Joe Rokotoko. Back inside to Tony Woodcock. Struggling to release. New Zealand have cleaned up well. They've got men plenty on the outside. Here's the long pass. McCall. There's another big tackle. Montgomery. It's great play by Montgomery. Just did the clean-up work that was needed there. I'll tell you what, we've seen 3 weeks of great defensive work by the Springboks. Twice against Australia, today against New Zealand. And if they do win this match, really so much is going to have to do with that.
Big pressure by the Springboks, and it pays off.
Leave it green, Rock! Leave it! Let it go!
Perry Weepu into the little half gap. Held up by Bucky Spuerto.
Onside, onside.
So Carter, what does he do? Kept the ball in hand as Dan Carter. Was it a high tackle? Referee says no.
Leave him, 7.
Jerry Collins hasn't been as effective as he normally is.
Leave it.
New Zealand continually looking to try and keep the ball going right, where they've found so much space in this match. And yeah, they find it again. Here comes Carter. Great tackle on Carter. The ball's been knocked forward, so South Africa have a little bit of a cushion.
Brilliant, brilliant defence. A try by New Zealand there could have put them right back into the game. Great commitment by the South Africans. Well done, Brian Abana and Joe van Niekerk.
Well, it's like a battlefield out there. Everybody just hanging their heads at the moment. Scott Burger's down. Joe van Niekerk's down. So is Jean de Villiers. There you have it. You can see just a fantastic tackle. Brian Abana showing again why it's so important, or how you can use your pace in defensive terms as well as offensive terms. Fantastic team performance it's been from the Springboks today, one has to say. But it's not all over yet. Joe White has just made those 2 changes in this match. He's kept his faith with the men. I must say that Bucky Spuerto and Victor Matfield, their defensive work has been quite special today. I think it's been a big factor for the Springboks. It's a very awkward scrum. It's been turned over by New Zealand. Carter going with the cross kick. It's gone too far. And that's one of the problems you have with a wind as it is. But there's going to be a penalty. Joe van Niekerk was offside. You know, those cross kicks are normally so pinpoint from Dan Carter. Perhaps that's sometimes in less windy conditions. So New Zealand know they've got to score twice. So they'll take the 3-pointers. Well, the 3 points as it comes now. They'll still be 6 behind, of course, so a converted try they would need to win it. It's been absolute ages, 32 minutes, that it's taken them to get to a point here where they could have some points in the second half. So Carter gets his 3rd penalty kick of the game to go with the conversion of that try by Rick Okia. Titanic struggle it's been. It's been a fantastic rugby match this, I must say. Those people that have come out and braved the cold here, jam-packed Newlands, I think will feel that they've really got their money's worth today. Up for it goes Ali Williams. Carter, Major, Joe Rokocoko is the one that South Africa have got to watch. He's got fresh legs. And he's a real menace. Greg Somerville He's found a bit of space. So'oialo out to Whitcomb and Woodcock. So the slower men on the outside on this occasion. Carter, Aaron Major, deciding that he's going to kick the ball downfield and just get into the right territory position for an attacking opportunity. Of course, you can only do that with the ball in hand, and that hasn't been easy today either with the way South Africa have defended. Still, the Springboks will also want to hold on to as much possession in these last 5 minutes as what they can. Deny the ball of the opposition is John Smith's call. Good work by John Smith. Now Victor Matfield.
Leave it. Onside.
Montgomery deciding to go to Pretorius. That's good play by Pretorius, showing a bit of courage. Now to Villiers. Oh, there's a knock-on now from Paulson. This is exactly what South Africa didn't want. See a couple of players there just straining their legs, doing a leg stretch. Part of that is because of cramp, which is worrying a few people. I see that Jacques Cronje is coming onto the field. He'll be on for Joe van Niekerk. And van Niekerk getting a huge cheer, which is great to see. He's worked particularly hard on his conditioning in recent weeks. He's in great shape, and he's certainly done his country proud. Jacques Cronje has been in great form too, so no problems with that. He'll know exactly what he's doing.
Half. Crouch and hold.
And most of what he's going to have to do is defend as well in these last 5 minutes.
Ball's out.
Again, it's Carter inside Rokataoko. This is the man they've got to watch. So'oialo. New Zealand pretty relentless in trying to get over that advantage line. South Africa have got to tackle them back. Carter back in field it comes. Huge tackle that on Willie Aina.
No, it's
Weepu trying to go himself.
play on off the foot.
No knock-on, says the referee, although the crowd don't agree with that. Umanga trying to get his arms through the tackle. Still, South Africa's defence holds. Oh, it could have been turned over. And the referee says it was lost forward. Look at John Smith clapping hands there for his teammates for some great defensive work. Who says you can't win test matches by defending well? Victor Matfield will know about that. How many tackles has he made today? Just look at that in-your-face defence there from Guthrie Steenkamp. 3 du Preez with a put in.
Time out.
And we're going to see another change. I think we're going to see the introduction of Luke McAllister. He's coming on. And he's coming on in place of Tana Umanga, the captain, who's limping off. And it's been a really dreadful day for the captain, who's a very likeable man. And, well, his team just haven't really got it right today. But there's still an opportunity. Richie McCall will probably take over the captaincy for these last couple of minutes. South Africa need a solid scrum here.
Engage.
Pretorius. That's another good kick that from Pretorius, right up to the halfway line. Brilliant kick. He really has shown mettle when it's been needed. He's not a big fellow either, but he's done his fair share of the defensive work that's been needed. Whitcomb doesn't want to waste any time. New Zealand haven't got time. They've only got 2 minutes. It's all about a try, a converted try at this point in time. Weepu. Now they'll use the width where they can. Knockdown coming there from Jacques Cormier. Referee says it was deliberate, so it'll be a penalty. New Zealand were looking to bring Rokocoko in on the inside pass there. Carter for field position. Vital for New Zealand. Having the right attacking platform. You can see there is going to be the little inside pass, which Cormier stuck his hand out. Referees tend to penalise those on more occasions perhaps than they should. Quite often it's not deliberate, it's just the hand goes up instinctively. McCaw, little run around here, but again South Africa don't fall for the trap.
Leave it, Green, leave it!
Carter. He just hasn't managed to ignite things yet. Abana with a knockdown. But that was a genuine knockout. And what a great pity. The king of interception, as we call him. Well, unlucky one fancies for Abana, but perhaps unlucky for New Zealand as well. See the crowd clapping in the background there, the music's going. Pretty much shades of Loftus last week, where the crowd had such a big role to play in South Africa's victory. Players were remarking about it.
Stay straight. Stay straight.
Carter, lovely little chip. Which way does it bounce? Oh, safely for Bryan Habana. South Africa have the luck of the bounce again, but they'll be comfortable with it. Carter, straight into traffic. A big minute now for South Africa. They've got to hold on. Taken into touch there by Jacques Fourie. The hooter is imminent. Points New Zealand need to draw level. 7 they want to win the match. Jake White is right on the touchline, making sure that the defensive lines are organised. There goes the hooter. Last chance for New Zealand. Can they do it? Carter's found a bit of space. An early tackle on Major. And a knock on. South Africa just have to kick this into touch. And that Fourie du Preez has done. The end of the game, says Andrew Cole. What a victory this for South Africa. For many people, unexpected. South Africa had to play out of their boots to win it, and that they certainly did.
What a fantastic Tri-Nations game. South Africa's proud home record rolls on, just like our busy schedule of rugby here on Sky Sports.